All right. Hello, everyone, and good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are from. Hope you're having a good day, a good week as well. It's midweek, almost midweek, and thanks for joining on a weekday. So thanks a lot for that. Today we're going to be talking about AI assistants. I assume all of you who have joined are from marketing or sales functions, and this would be relevant, helpful for you to know how you can leverage generative AI, how you can use AI assistants to automate your operations, to reduce your workloads, and to be able to do more with the same time and resources that you have. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to keep it crisp because we have limited time. We might do another webinar where we talk about specific use cases and talk, get into further details into every use case further on in the next few webinars. But today we are going to keep it a little broad level, and we're going to talk about what kind of AI assistants are there, what are the use cases, and how you can go about it. Right. I'll quickly introduce myself. I'm Varun Poladia. I'm from navan.ai. We are an AI and generative AI solutions company headquartered in Singapore. And yeah, we help people across various functions, but marketing and sales more so because that's something that we're building products for and building the various tools and solutions for. So that's a broad level overview of who I am and what navan.ai does. Let's get started with what we are going to talk about in terms of AI assistance, right? So there are multiple ways in which you can use AI assistance, and one of the most common ways is to use it as a chat assistant, right? So what happens is that you can have an let's take an example. So you could have an AI assistant which could probably receive inbound emails, and if let's say you're getting an inbound query from a new potential customer, and you and that's being received sorry that's being received by an AI agent or an AI assistant. It would be able to understand the content in that, the query in that email, and automatically respond to that email. That's one way in which you can use an AI assistant, right? The other way is here that I've shown right now on the screen is using it as a chat assistant. Same way, when you have, one of the differences, or you've been using chat assistants for quite some time, but then the basic difference is that earlier we did not have AI based chat assistants, and now we have AI chat assistants, which makes a huge difference, right? And sorry, what's the difference and what are AI chat assistants? I'll just take you through that quickly. So one is that these are RAG based, which is RAG based. These are also custom trained on certain data, and there's no hallucination. So putting all these three together, I'll quickly explain what that means. Is that RAG is a framework basically that's used in generative AI, and what happens is these chatbots, these AI chat assistants, are trained on specific data set. So let's say you upload or you provide a knowledge base, which is a document about how sales calls are supposed to be done in your organization. Right. For example, it's a training chatbot or chatbot that you're creating for internal training. So you can provide the document which lays down or which has all the information about how sales calls should be done in your organization. And then from that, it will be able to learn only on that data using only that data. And so it's custom trained only on that data, and it does not hallucinate. So when it's provided certain knowledge base, it only learns from that knowledge base, and it does not create knowledge on its own. It does not create information on its own, which is one of the biggest problems that we have seen with AI assistants, which are used, far and wide for multiple applications. So let's say, for example, ChatGPT or any other commonly used AI assistants that you talk about. Some of them do hallucinate for different types of queries and prompts, and that creates a problem, especially when you're using it for your organization, or especially when you're using it for an application which is facing the customer probably, right? So that becomes a problem. But then when you have AI chat assistants specifically created for certain tasks, there are ways to avoid hallucination as well, and that's something that we have been able to achieve as well. Moving forward, I'll talk about it differences between. Okay, yeah. Okay. So I'll talk about the differences between the traditional chat assistants or chatbots and AI assistants that we have nowadays. Uh, if you remember earlier, whenever you visited a website, it had a chatbot, and then you would have to, if you had some query, you'd have to select from a few options that are available in the chatbot, and then options of the questions, and then based on what you've decided or what you've selected, the chatbot would answer a specific, answer basically. So that was the biggest problem that we used to face earlier, and then more often than not, most of the queries were unanswered or the customers were not satisfied with the answers, and then that would lead to a loss of revenue, potential revenue, eventually, right? So what has changed from there is that now we have AI chat assistants which one understand context and intent. So these understand natural language, natural human language, just like you and me are talking. Then these can be improved. There is possibility to learn from all the conversations that happen on an ongoing basis. Then multiple integrations are possible. Let's say you want to integrate with your CRM, or you want to integrate with your task management tool, project management tool, or you want to integrate with your say uh, digital marketing, or the digital advertising ad operations tool that you may be using. You could do all those integrations, and it's pretty easy to do that. Versus when you look at the traditional chatbots, it becomes very difficult, because first, you cannot really have human-like responses because it's a robot that you're talking to, with the traditional chatbot that we used to have earlier. And then there's a lot. I mean, there are a lot of things which are not possible with traditional chatbots, which are now possible with AI chat assistants that we have. And most importantly, AI chat assistants can handle several queries because they learn from certain data. Let's say you just provide a PDF, it'll learn from that data and it'll be able to answer queries just like another human would do. But with traditional chatbots, that was not possible. So you would only have specific questions and specific answers, and you would be limited to that. So all the users would be limited to that. So that's one of the biggest differences between traditional chatbots and AI chat assistants that we have now. Generative AI based chat assistants, which I think a lot of people do not understand, because when I talk to people, they still confuse, or they still think that AI chatbots are the same as the traditional chatbots that we used to have earlier, right? So that's something I wanted to talk about and put up here. Now, we've understood the basic differences, and today I'm going to talk more about chat assistants as a form of using generative AI or using AI assistants, right? Or the medium of using AI systems would be in the form of a chat, right? So we're talking, I mean, we understood the differences, but now the question is, how do we use those, right? How do we make use of generative AI? How do we leverage generative AI to reduce our workloads and make or automate certain tasks? So there are a few areas which we have identified, where we know people are using AI assistants in the form of chat or even other formats. So AI chatbots definitely something that we've already discussed. Let's say you want to help your customers put up a chatbot and AI chatbot on your website and help your customers 24/7. Probably you're offering 100 different services or 100 different products, and then you want your your customers to be able to find the right product or the service that they want, and you want to do that at scale. So in that case, an AI chatbot is much more efficient than obviously hiring those many people to respond to your customers in real time, in so many languages as well, because with AI you can have 85 languages in which you can talk to customers. So that's one of the ways or one of the applications of AI that we have seen, AI assistants that we have seen. Then obviously there's content creation, which I'm sure all of us have tried out to some level or the other. Some may have been using it, in depth and day in and day out, but then some may be using it only to generate few snippets of content, maybe. Right. So a few examples are creating marketing content like say blogs or presentations or newsletters, or even say if you're doing digital marketing, paid marketing, basically, you could even create ads and social media posts, and you could also have automation in terms of engagement on social media using generative AI. So that's another area where we've seen quite good use and application of AI assistants. Then there's market research, and this is something. This is one of the areas where we are also working, where we help people to find in-depth information in-depth information about certain companies that they want to research about. In the market. Let's say they could be your competitors, they could be your target customers, whoever they are. Usually, what happens is that if you're doing account-based marketing, especially, you would probably be spending days or several weeks, several days or even weeks in getting all the data that you require to be able to approach your customer with confidence and know what is it that you should be pitching to that customer. But with the use of AI, that time duration, and the effort has reduced to a few minutes. That's something that we also offer on our platform. So I'll take you through that later. Moving on to a few more applications. Sorry, I'll change the slide. Yes. So customer recommendation, that's another tool that we are also working on, which is helping you find new customers. So if you can define who your target audience is, you can define what you're offering. It'll be able to find find new customers for you. It'll be able to gather intent data as to and to deduce what kind of products or services your potential customers must be looking for, and then provide those insights to you so that you can find new customers and grow your business faster. So that's another area where we've seen a very good application, very good in terms of the ROI. That's what I mean. Application of AI assistance. Then there's project updates. So let's say if you're doing after sales, right, or you're into project management as well. You're part of the project management team, then or account management, and talking to the customers, need to provide updates to your customers. Then if you connect your AI assistant to your project management tool, let's say Jira or anything else, any other tool that you may be using, then automatically it can fetch updates from those tools and provide the updates to the customers periodically. Or it could also be in the form of a chat where, let's say, if I am a customer, I could chat with that bot and ask for the update on the project, as in what's completed, what's happening, how much time could it take, if there's a delay or not, who's working on what, and so on, right? So there are several applications and project or updating customers on what's happening with their projects is another area that we've identified where AI assistants could be quite helpful. Then there's hyper personalized email marketing, which is again one of the areas where we are working, where what happens is if you're doing email campaigns or if you're sending out emails at scale, or cold emails at scale, the problem is that every email is the same, and then the recipient doesn't really find it relevant for them. So what happens is you can use, or what can be done is you can use generative AI to hyper personalize each of those emails which is sent out. So even if you're sending out 1,000 emails every day, each of those emails is hyper personalized, and your recipient finds it relevant for them. Your conversion rate increases, and that's how you see the results from there. So that's one of the areas where we also work, and we've created an AI agent which helps you hyper personalize emails. Moving on, we have a few more examples. So one is an AI SDR, right? So if you're doing sales development, or if you have sales teams, and usually what happens is that you run out of time and you have so many leads to talk to. So in this case, you can use voice and text SDR agents, which would probably be the first level of conversation, or which would take care of the first level of conversation with your customers. And from there, ideally, they would, if there's an escalation, then your teams could come in and talk to the customers. Or ideally, what would happen is that these AI SDR agents would typically schedule in-person meetings or meetings where you actually get to discuss the requirements directly. So it saves a lot of time, and it makes that process, the pre-sales process, much faster. That's another area where we've seen quite a good number of companies using AI, generative AI to be specific, right? Then there's automation of ad optimization. So if you're running paid marketing campaigns on, say, Meta or LinkedIn or Google and so on, optimizing those ads becomes a very manual task day in and day out. So you can also automate that using AI agents. And then the beauty of this is that AI can churn data. AI can understand and analyze data. So there are several AI models. So certain AI models can analyze data very well and then automatically optimize your ads to perform better. So that's another area, especially if you're into digital marketing, if you're an agency or someone, this could be very helpful for you and your customers. Then there's training. I think there's this is one of the examples that I talked about earlier, where let's say you want to do training for your sales and marketing teams. Then you can just have an AI chatbot or a chat assistant trained on all your marketing material and then deploy it as a chatbot within your organization. And or it could be connected to your Slack as well. So what could happen is that every employee could go through or talk to that chatbot and get a personalized version of their own training schedule, and the flow in which the training could move on. So that's another example of where generative AI can be used to personalize several types of content and personalize the process in which people engage with the chatbot. Moving on, yeah. So this is a report. So this is an excerpt of a report that Salesforce published actually. So what I saw and what they noticed, what they deduced from that survey is that sales reps spend only 30% of their time selling or doing sales, whereas 70% of the time is being spent on activities that do not involve sales, right? So what we've from here, what we've identified is that if you can use AI assistance in the correct manner, out of these, all these tasks that are mentioned here, at least 39% of these tasks can be automated using AI assistance, so that your sales reps can spend more time on doing actual sales rather than all the other work that's less productive as compared to doing actual sales. So that's just an insight I wanted to share with everyone. Now, the biggest question is how do we ensure data privacy, right? If you're using AI, everyone is concerned about their data not going to OpenAI or other AI companies, basically. So there are several ways to go about it. One of the ways that we help our customers is that we provide private deployment of AI models and the chat assistants, or even the entire platform itself, if required. So what happens with that is that the data that you use to train the AI with is going to remain within your network, within your organization, and it's only trained on your data. So it does not get trained on the data that's available on the open internet, but it's only trained on your data, and you have access control to check how people access it, how people use it, and so on. So most importantly, the data remains with you within your organization, and even for confidential data, you can then use AI, right? So that's one of the hindrances that we have seen where people want to use AI, but then because of data privacy concerns, they are not able to use that. What you see here is an example of how an AI assistant is being used, AI chat assistant is being used, right? So what I did is that so I used the platform. So we have the platform where you can build your own AI chat assistant, and what I did is I uploaded some information about what offerings the company has, right? So what you see on the left hand side is an example of, or is a screenshot of the document that I uploaded, saying that okay, within e-commerce, these are the applications that we provide, or within retail, these are the applications that we provide. And then what you see on the right hand side is a chat assistant which has been trained on that data. So I'm interacting with the chat assistant, and I'm asking a question saying, what services do you offer for the manufacturing industry? And then it's able to answer my query, answer to my query, saying that okay, these are the services or these are the offerings that we have for the manufacturing industry, and it's able to detail those out, right? So same way, I mean, this is a simulation of how your customers could benefit by using if you're using AI chat assistants for your business, right? And you can grow your top of the funnel leads from there by using AI chat assistants. Let's say on your website, could be on your could be on your WhatsApp channel, could be on a social media, could be anywhere. So that's one of the examples. I have one more example here, which is a customer research assistant, which is again one of the AI agents that we have on our platform. So here I took the example of navan.ai itself, where I asked it to find all the detailed information about navan.ai. So same way, what you see here is mostly detailed information about the company, but at the end, what you also see is recommendations on but recommendations on how I could or how your organization could work with this company in terms of what could the requirements be and what could the partnership model be and so on, right? So it can try to predict what kind of requirements could be there, and then based on that, it would be able to suggest that okay, since you're offering this, this is what their requirement could be, and this is how you should talk to them, and this is the person that you should talk to, right? So that's another example. So this is still work in progress, and we are co-building it with one of the biggest cloud providers in the industry. So this is still work in progress. It's going to take a few weeks till we are able to even provide intent data to you, where it will be able to look at intent signals and capture that data and provide you kind of uh, in-depth insights which are probably not possible to find anywhere else, and tell you that okay, these are the requirements exactly that the company has, and then this is what you should pitch to them. So that's another example example of how we are using AI and how we are using or how we are helping our customers to use AI, generative AI. Yeah, so that's, I think, what I wanted to talk about on a broad level. Now, if you want to build your own AI chat assistant, you can go to app.navan.ai, and it hardly takes a few seconds. In fact, I think I can spend a minute on this and show it to you right away. So I can go to app.navan.ai, then I go to AI chat assistant, and I say create new assistant. I can give it a name, say test. I can upload the knowledge base. So let me upload the document that I showed, the screenshot that I showed basically. I'll upload the same document. Just hang on. I think someone has raised their hand. I cannot see the screen right now. Just a minute. Okay, so I've loaded this and I say create assistant.
Yeah, Varun, we are not able to see your screen.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I just shared the entire screen. Okay, I hope it's visible now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll just take you back to this. You go to app.navan.ai, click on Create Assistant for the AI Chat Assistant, and okay, and you say Create New Assistant. You give it a name, say test1, add knowledge base, which is where I upload the document from which I wanted to learn. So I'll just upload the document again, and okay. And I'll say create assistant. And so if you don't want to add a document, you can also add a website. You can also add a sitemap. You can also add a Notion site, connect a Notion site for it to learn from. And just as you saw, it takes a few seconds for the chatbot to learn and be ready. Now I can ask questions and interact with the chatbot. Say, what do you offer for IoT? And so I know that the data has certain information about IoT, and this is what it's able to answer based on what it has learned, right? So it tells me that, okay, these are the offerings that we have for IoT, development, integration, deployment, and so on, right? So here's an example. Now, what you can also do is once you created your own chatbot, you can just go to this embed option, and here's the code that you'll find, which you just give it to your website administrator, and they'll be able to add this in the website, and your chatbot is ready to get you more customers basically. So it takes a few minutes only to get your chatbot ready and deploy it on your website. So that was one of the examples that I wanted to talk about, and this was the company research assistant which I showed you earlier, where if I click on new research, I can define the name of the URL of the company that I want to get information on, and I can select one of the templates based on what my objective is. And then it'll be able to provide all that information within a few seconds or a few minutes, depending on how much data is available. So that's, I think, on a broad level, that's what I wanted to talk about mostly. And we are, okay, I'll switch to the screen. Yes. In case you want to build your own chatbot, you can scan this QR, or I'll also share the links here in the chat, and I'll stop presenting. I'm sharing the links in the chat here, and let's use these last 4 or 5 minutes to network, get to know who all are here, and any specific use case that you've been able to, where you've been able to utilize AI. Yeah, in case you have any questions, you want to share anything, please unmute yourself and ask away.
Yes, please. I want to ask that this AI chatbot, can you do all of the things that you told us about, like all the categories, email marketing, training, SDR? I don't know. It's one chatbot only can do it, or different one for each function?
No, there would be different chatbots for different functions, because, or there could be one chatbot for multiple functions, but then it would depend on how complex and what's the workflow, right? Workflow like, sorry. So there are ways in which you can use it, but then typically, usually there's one AI agent for one task. So let's say you want an AI agent for ad optimization, because that may not be in the form of a chat. Then you would have a different AI agent, but then only does ad optimization, right? So yeah, that's how it would go about.
Okay, so this tool, how many maximum chatbot assistants we can create with it?
You can create as many as you want. There's no real limit to it.
Okay, okay, perfect. Is it free?
It's free to start, but for the usage you'll have to pay. So there are different tiers that you can pay for. You can subscribe and pay. And in case you need any integrations, right? So integrations like, say you want to integrate with your CRM, or you want to integrate with
Yeah.
your email client, or you want to integrate with your Slack channel, maybe. Then you can just come back to us and we'll be able to help you out with that.
Okay, okay. So basically, this is your tool, right?
Yes, the platform that I showed, where we created the chat assistant, that's our tool. That's the tool that we've created. But for other use cases, there are several tools available. So it depends on what your use case is, what you're looking at, and in case you want to know more on specific processes that you may be following, and you want to know how we can leverage AI, we can have a separate conversation altogether for that.
Perfect. And all of this, we will find it in the link, right? After we leave in our email.
The presentation and the
The
webinar video will be
presentation, yeah.
uploaded in a few days. It will
Okay.
take a few days to be uploaded, but you'll get it in email.
Okay, thank you so much.
Also, you can just subscribe to our YouTube channel so that as soon as it's uploaded, you'll get a notification.
Oh, that's good. So you have YouTube channel also. You talk about AI and everything?
Yes.
Okay.
We
Perfect.
do
Thank
try
you.
to, as much as our bandwidth allows us. Yes. I've shared the links in the chat box, so you can just go to the chat box and find the links. Most importantly, please fill the feedback form.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other questions anyone wants to share? What they're doing with AI? All right, I think then that's it. We'll wind up here, and thank you all for joining. We'll share. So once the recording